for some controversy, and you know we don't like to debate, we likes to argue. Are you going to stand 10 toes in that hill, or will you fold and follow the flock? It's time to say it with your chest.
Yes, this is B. Brown, the Revolutionary,
And Sunshine La Reina.
and it's time for some controversy. Yeah,
You know, I like controversy. I like topics where, we can agree to disagree, or we can disagree to disagree. It's up to you.
all right, say it with your chest. Should she keep the baby? Sunshine, I'm going to let you go ahead and take the lead on this one.
Okay, so I came across this little blurb on Facebook the other day. Actually, it's a someone that I've known for quite some time, and she put this post up on her wall, and it was said, "Is a woman wrong for keeping a baby that the man told her that he didn't want?" She says, "Yeah, she's wrong." I say, "No, she not." What you think, boss?
Well, I feel like if a man don't want the baby, don't harass that man. I mean, she is not wrong if she want to keep the baby. But thing is, don't go harassing that man. He already done told you from the get go he didn't want the baby.
Facts. That's how I feel. Now I know there are many women in this world that want the baby and not the man. Some women don't want to be in a relationship. Some women don't even want to be married. Some men as well. And if I feel that if the woman happens to get pregnant, if she wants the child, she can keep the child with no input from the man at all because he don't want the baby in the first place. Don't have this baby and call him a deadbeat. You knew what it was when he told you he didn't want the baby in the first place.
Exactly. Now, Sunshine, you said if she keeps the child and proceeds to make the man's life miserable, then yes, she is wrong. If she has her baby and keep it pushing, she good with me.
Facts. Facts. You knew what it was. She wants the baby, he doesn't. Just because a man does not want to take part in fatherhood does not mean that the woman has to lose out in her opportunity of motherhood. That's how I feel.
And okay, and she says, why put yourself in a situation to be a single parent? I mean, let's be real. A single parenting is just a thing from the beginning of time. I mean, no one really sets out, I don't think, to be a single parent. But at the end of the day, you cannot tell somebody what to do, a grown person.
My thing is this, they call single parenting when you were unmarried. Once again, people have very well established and their children have flourished when they can co-parent appropriately. Just because a person is a single parent does not mean that that child's other parent is not very present and active in their life. That's what people don't seem to comprehend as well. You don't have
But
you're single on paper, not in life.
facts. You said you're telling the truth. You said not all women want to get married, yet they want children. She says don't have to be married. I'm saying bringing a kid in a situation that could have been different if you had the right man to get pregged by. People get pregged by bums, then cry they deadbeats. Why bring humans into the world when someone who not capable of being the right parent for the child? You knew before you laid down. You then said sometimes even the right man isn't right. People may think they have what it takes, and when life really hits them, they found out they ain't built for it. That's real life. Everything that glitters ain't gold, baby girl. There ain't no such thing as a perfect situation.
It is what it is.
Okay, but let me say her response. And she says, he don't have to be the right man for you, but for the child. And you'll know before getting pregnant. A man will show you his true self, whether good or bad. I'm just saying, people get preggo by anybody and they be crying after. In my opinion, definitely in today's generation, to simplify it, I can't just have a baby with anybody. Kids and your body is your temple. I take that serious.
Now, I wanna hint at her on something. Like, And I don't mean no harm to a lot of this young generation. However, your minds are just like a little bit twisted sometimes. If you really think that a person shows you who they truly are,
Right. From the get
you
go, baby, you
from
done lost already.
real rap. You don't know who a person truly is until you live with them. You don't know who a person
Yeah.
truly is until they're sick, until they're going through some kind of hardship. You don't
Yeah.
know how people deal with stress. You don't know who people really are in general. People
Yeah.
can present to be very upstanding, hardworking, organized, all that stuff. This person could be picture perfect. You could even marry this person. And guess what? You can still get divorced and be a single mama.
Yeah. Facts.
Let's talk
Facts and
about that.
facts.
I
Facts
know
and facts.
many women that didn't start out single mothers, but they wound up that way.
Yeah.
But see, but that, and there, this is the problem. This is where the focus turn to. The focus should not be on that man. This is what the focus is on. The focus is on the man. It has nothing to do with the child. And that's what the topic is talking about, the child, not the man itself. It's the
Yeah.
child that we have to consider, not this man. If that's how he feels in the first place, what you think is gonna happen in your future anyway? Leave him alone. That's your child. You both have input in that situation.
Yeah.
Case in, say a woman gets pregnant, she didn't want the baby. This happened in real life. This woman got pregnant. She didn't want the baby. She wanted to get an abortion. The man didn't want to have an abortion. She wanted to keep the baby. Okay, fine, well, good. She said, okay, fine, you can have your baby, sir. She had that baby, signed over her rights, paid child support, and kept it pushing. He was sick. Sick. How can you do this? This is your child. No, no, she told you off top. Want that kid, bro? That was not her. That's she no responsibilities. And my Chucky voice from Rugrats. She didn't want no responsibilities.
Right.
Gave
Right.
them you. That's what you wanted. What you mad for?
Right. And don't try to force nobody into something that they don't want to be in. Like, you can't do that. That is not how the world works. It's not. At the end of the day, when you already knew what it was, and when she signed over them rights, hint, hint, number two, baby, because she told you number one, she didn't want to do it, but in number two, she signed over them rights. Hint, hint, number three, she said, here, honey, I'm going to just pay you off, honey, get out my face. Baby, you cannot change a grown person. They going to do what they want to do.
No, that man really did think that them little old 9 months old the baby's growing, it's kicking, look at his little heartbeat, little no. She was like, that's no, that's cute, but that's not what it is. I don't want this baby. This your baby, sir.
Right. And
He
she
was,
left it at that.
yeah, but and my thing is also this: if a woman wants to have a child, she's going to have a child, and it will really have nothing. That the man has the option of coming and going. The woman has the option of choosing to keep her child, all that. But when she chooses to keep her child, she already chose that life. Some women have great foundations. They have great family structures. They're well financed. They have great futures, and they have no problem in having a child on their own.
Well, you pretty much explained that in what you said. And I'm just gonna paraphrase a little bit. You said, I said if she choose to keep the baby and kept it pushing, she is good in my book. Also, you said, that had nothing to do with the question, at hand, uh, by what she was saying. And she comes back and say, everybody not meant to be a parent, and if he's showing you signs beforehand, why go through to put yourself in a struggling situation?
What does that baby have to do? What does that have to do with anything?
But you only looking at it from one side. Who said you're gonna struggle though?
Facts.
You
Facts.
know
That I feel like that's
what
some
type of
projection.
struggle?
That's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
heavy
What type of
projection.
struggle?
Heavy projection.
And then you said exactly what we just said. How do you know it will be a struggle situation if the woman has accepted that the man doesn't want anything to do with the kid and lives her best life without him? What's the problem? If he was not meant to be a parent, what does that have to do with her? And she says it has everything to do with her. They both made the baby.
And he's choosing not to be there. So what does that still in fact have to do with her and her choice? At the end of the day, it's both of their their baby. However, he chose to opt out while she's standing 10 toes on it. She keeping her baby, like Madonna said.
Right. And you said his choice to deny himself the chance of being a father has nothing to do with her motherhood. She says to each his own. You say same way if a man wanted the baby and the woman didn't. She can choose to have the baby, sign away all her rights, and get a child to him because he wanted it.
Facts. But then their whole focus, the whole, and this is why people have to. With some age comes maturity, and these young people, they really need to mature more, because their focus had nothing to do with the child and what the mother and or father wanted. It was all about the man saying they want the baby and being with the man. That has nothing to do with the question at hand. Nothing. If I if I was with someone and I happened to get pregnant and I wanted the baby, they didn't, okay, that's your option. I'm going to keep my kid because that's what I want to do. You ain't got to have no parts. What's the problem?
Well, she was like, a man got one time tell her she ain't, he don't want to keep the baby, and she going right to Apple Street. So I guess that's where they can give you the option of keeping the baby. But at the end of the day, everybody is not the same. So that's what people got to understand in this situation. Just because one person may say they don't want to keep the baby, another person may say, I'm going to keep my baby, and you can scoot the boot. Because let's be real, there are some men out there that's willing to be a great stepfather.
Yes, there are. I know
So,
plenty of them. Plenty of them.
yeah, so everybody's just not feeling like that. She said, yeah, personally, I wouldn't want a man has never told me to get a abortion. I don't know. It's all right. Thank you. He's showing you beforehand. B's always being dumb, then crying deadbeat later. Girl, he told you no. Yeah, that's pure stupidity. And then they say they don't believe in abortion, but don't practice not near a religion. Let me be quiet. Thank you. All right, so I'm just guessing. She's just one of them females that's like, look, if I don't have a daddy, I don't want the baby in my life or whatever, whatever. But let's be real. Two adults having consensual sex, baby, you're gonna make a child
It happens.
9 times out of 10. I mean, sometimes you may get lucky, but let's be real. So from the get go, I just feel like if neither of you want a baby, how about you practice some safe sex? Can we just go on in that realm real quick? So you didn't do that. You didn't practice safe sex. So whatever happened after that happens.
Facts. And I
So
also feel like a lot of these points come from like, and I don't mean no harm. I say it how it's supposed to be said. They come from a bitter person's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
make his life he a deadbeat. Like, there are plenty of men out there that will step up and X, Y, and Z. However, that has really nothing to do with the question at hand. Like, they're not thinking about themselves in the situation. They're like coming about that man and like him not coming around and calling him a deadbeat. You can't be a deadbeat if I'm telling you off top, this ain't what I want, and you keep going. That's not a deadbeat. You knew what it was off top, and this was your choice. Leave that person
yeah,
alone.
yeah.
Leave him alone. If
Leave me
you
alone now.
man, after you know he don't want that baby, you really bitter. You're
Yeah,
bitter. You're
yeah,
bitter. You
yeah.
thought that baby was gonna keep that man. No, baby girl, that no ain't. There has never been a time in existence when a baby kept a man.
Baby, please say it again. Say it one more time, please.
There has never, I said never, there has never been a time in existence that a baby has kept a man or a woman. Okay?
Facts.
I said what I said. And you're
Yeah,
mad because your tactics ain't work. So now he's bitter, he's mad. That sounds like projection. That sounds like a lot of unhealedness. Because
yeah,
if your thought process is like, you're like, all right, well, fine, you do you, I'm gonna do me with my kid if I choose to keep it. Have a
Yep.
good day, sir. Call it a day. That's just my perspective. I'm a little bit grown now.
Yep. Well, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Um, if you are feeling this conversation, please comment, like, and share this video, and also follow Dab TV on all platforms. We're not on Twitter as of yet, but as we grow, we'll and add Twitter on to it. But right now we're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So let us know what you think about this conversation, honey. Should she keep the baby?
And say that with your chest.